Hello beer tubers and welcome to another beer review with me, Peter, the master of hoppets, about to crush some clear beer, some West Coast IPA. And as my hat says, make IPA clear again. I love this hat. I got it recently and I never really wear hats anymore, but I was like, this is actually quite fitting. So Team Clear Beer here. This is another can that I got courtesy of Joe, or Joe helped me get, from North Park. And this is a collab that North Park has done with Radiant Beer Company, which is in Anaheim, I believe. I've never had any Radiant beer, but I've had plenty of North Park now, and I think they are one of the top brewers on the West Coast. So this is their collab called Here to Forever. Pretty cool artwork on there. It looks like Star Wars, something like that. Yeah, jumping to light speed, which is cool. I have a massive look at that. I mean, I'm a Star Wars geek myself. So this is a double dry hop West Coast IPA on 7% featuring the dreamy hop combo of, and this is cool. They use this often, but incognito. But they really loaded this with Citra. So we got Citra, Citra Cryo, and Citra Incognito. Then Kashmir and Freestyle Nelson hops. This was canned on the 13th. It's the 10th today, so it's just shy of 4 weeks, which is oakley dokley. The 13th of February, that is, and it's the 10th of March today. So let's check this one out. Pours a beautiful, at least the day of shooting this, pours a beautiful crystal clear golden yellow color. It looks like the modern clear West Coast beer. It's got a white head, much more fluffy when I poured it out, but looks nice. Let's check out the aroma on this bad boy. Oh yeah, it smells really nice. There's loads of Citra. Loads of sweet citrus, juicy sweet citrus fruits like orange and tangerine. But Nelson for sure plays in through all of that as well, which is impressive. I don't know how the ratios are, but when you see Citra, Citra Cryo, Citra Incognito, you think, okay, this is just going to be all Citra. But there's a good kick of gooseberry on this. And Kashmir, oh, how is Kashmir? I actually haven't had Kashmir in a beer in a long time. We can quickly look it up here. Okay, so Kashmir often showcases lemon, lime, and melon. It's not a hop I see used too much, at least over here. Not once in a while, but lemon, lime, I can get on board with that. But I also often get that from both Citra and Nelson. But it's really nice. It's actually quite limey, but it's also really pineapple-y and passion fruity, especially passion fruity. It's not like as the last beer I had with these kind of hops was from Slice, and that was just massively dank. This is a whole lot more fruity. There's definitely some dankness to it as well, but it's much more of like a really fruity modern West Coast IPA. I like when they also get quite dank, but there is some there. Like it smells really nice, just like a Total Crusher, light crackery malt backbone on it too. Smells damn good. Let's give it a taste. Cheers. And thanks to Joe for helping me get some West Coast beers. Yummies. That's really nice. So it definitely has Nelson characteristics, but I think there's a bit more on the aroma. It's quite citra forward. A lot of sweet citrus fruit in this one, and citrus pith. And definitely lemon lime on the flavor. There's even some grapefruit. But it's not as bright and dank and weedy as the last one I had from Slice, the Death Squad, which was, I love those really cushy, weedy, dank flavors paired with tropical fruit. This is more, like there is a little bit of it, but this is definitely a little more toned down in favor of the fruit. Now I'm getting a lot of dankness. What the hell's going on? Now on the back end. But it's actually not too dissimilar to the Slice beer. That one was just a bit more forward and umphy on the aromatics and flavors. But they use massive hop charges in these beers as well, and they are very hoppy. But one of the things I think a lot of people fail to think of is like a lot of these beers where they're really dry and there's no yeast or anything to back up. Also, they're clear. I mean, the hops are out of suspension. A lot of hazies, you still have some hops in suspension, giving forth like those green, bright kind of flavors or biting hop flavors. That's why also West Coast are not the exact same. It's also a total different type of IPA that does quite different things. But with this modern approach, you do get some of those really fruity profiles you get in hazies. But I just much prefer these. I mean, they're so much more in my wheelhouse these days. You could drink so much more of this without getting palate fatigued and like getting tired of it. Like I'm just so tired of sweet beer. I'm tired of beer that's really, really overripe, gushing, juicy fruit. Like it seems to go hand in hand. The more juicy, the more crazy sweet. Especially, I think, in a lot of European uh, hazies. And therefore it's just like really nice getting back to this kind of beer. And it's funny, I still see people drinking these West Coast beers, and they're claiming that they are sweet. And it's like they're not. It's your palate picking up sweet hop flavors. We did a colleague of mine also got a can of the slice beer, and he for fun just checked the gravity because I knew they were dry and people calling them sweet. It finished at 10.00 or 1008. It's like 1.5 Plato. I don't do the SG scale that well, but it's a really dry beer. This feels so similar. There's sweetness, but it's not sweet malt. Like the malt is so light and crackery. It's like the sweetness of an interplay between fruity hop and maybe a touch of kiss of malt or something like at best. It's not that much different of the sweetness you find from hops in pilsners. And maybe that's also why I'm so stoked on these kind of beers. It's because I loved West Coast back in the day. I've had this huge renaissance of pilsner and lager beers. So this is just like some kind of match made in heaven, like super clean, bitter, dry beer, but with really modern hop flavors. It's banging. This is really good. Oh man, I'm thirsting for more. I'm also getting a little bit of pine to it right now on the back end, and there is that kind of gooseberry vibe. And it does have some dankness, but it's not like as like I think Slice really is good at nailing like crazy dank flavors. I also think North Park does it a lot, especially like something like Hop Fu is also a fairly dank beer. I just like in West Coasters, I love that combination of really cushy, weedy, dank hops with fruity hops. That's awesome. And then that bright, clear, clean beer. This is also a crusher that you could drink for days. I don't think it's as good as like I think the gold standard from North Park is Hop Fu in terms of clear beer. Um, I've yet to try like the New Zealand Fu and the Triple Fu in those beers. I really want to try them at some point. It seemed like Triple Fu, they did that not too a little while back. But Inset Fu, New Zealand Fu, I think they do that once in a while. So whenever they announce that, we need to try and get some over. But this is still a damn fine cola. It's a damn fine West Coast IPA. I think it's just like right now I just had like a world class one, and then that's in my mind. It's like, oh, please, you want this to be the exact same level, but it's really damn close. It's not too far off. And it's a Citra banger. There's so much Citra flavor. All that sweet citrus tangerine, but also slightly tropical fruit flavor. It's there, which is really nice. It's a banger. There's that gooseberry. There's almost like a lemon fruit gusher or something like that, or lime fruit gusher. Those like candies. Fucking dope shit. I'm stoked on drinking this. 7% as well. You're not tasting it, and then just like that feeling of dryness in your mouth afterwards. It's really nice. One thing though, like a lot of these modern West Coast also, they are a little less bitter than the old school West Coast. They're still definitely bitter beers, but I think it's all about the balance. Like if you also make it too bitter, you'll also hide some of all the hop flavors, I guess. I'm gonna give it a 93. Yeah, I'll definitely give it to the Slice Dead Squad, but this is also fire beer, so really nice, and dead fresh too, which is lovely. So yeah, if you guys had a chance to try North Park, here to forever, their collab with Radiant Beer Co. Let me know what you thought of it. Damn fine stuff. Thanks a ton for helping getting some North Park beer over, Joe. Cheers. And if you guys had this one, as always, let me know about it. And remember to comment, subscribe, check out the Facebook fan page and Twitter and Instagram. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Ring the bell for future notifications about videos. And I'm going to say cheers and see you guys into the beer review.